A very warm welcome to all of you. I am Mrs. Khushbu Pathak, Assistant Professor, Department of Management, SSME, Bhilai. Today, I am going to discuss the managerial economics. So, this subject is a part of BBA third semester. In today's class, we are going to discuss the introduction, objectives, roles and responsibilities of managerial economist, specific functions and concluding remarks. So, it is unit 1. In unit 1 of managerial economics, the roles and responsibilities of managerial economist is there and its specific functions, and last concluding remark. So, first let us understand the introduction of managerial economics. Managerial economics, used synonymously with business economics, it is a branch of economics that deals with the application of microeconomic analysis to decision-making techniques of businesses and management units. It acts as the via media between economic theory and pragmatic economics. Managerial economics bridges the gap between theory and practice. Basically, managerial economics uses and applies traditional economic tools and techniques for proper business decision making in the organization or in the business unit, so that proper decision making is possible, planning, implementation and controlling is possible. And managerial economics bridges the gap between the theory and practice. Theory means the economic tools and techniques and theories and concepts of the traditional economics, and practices means here the modern business practices. So, it is just like a bridge between the traditional economic theories and concepts and modern business practices. So, let us understand the objectives of managerial economics. In every work, we always decide what are the objectives of my work. So, in the managerial economics also, we are having some objectives. So, let us discuss one by one. What are the objectives and uses of managerial economics? John Dean answers this question in the following words. The purpose of managerial economics is to show how economic analysis can be used in formulating business policies. Success in business depends to a large extent on policies and strategies adopted in the business. So, in managerial economics, we need to identify why we are deciding the objective, why we are using economics, why we are using the tools and techniques of traditional economics in modern business practices, why we are formulating business policies and strategies. The basic objective of managerial economics is facilitating formulation of appropriate policies and strategies. It means we have to formulate the right policies and strategies for our organization or business firm. This basic objective can be elaborated into the following larger objectives of managerial economics. So, integrating economic theory with business practices, using economics tools to analyze business situation, applying economic principles to solve business problems, using economic ideas for crisis management, facilitating demand analysis and demand forecasting. Basically, why we are setting objective? Basically, we are trying to integrate the certain economic tools and techniques, and using these tools and techniques, applying it for business practices. We are using tools and techniques to analyze the business situation, to deciding the economic principles and identifying the problems, and at the same time we are trying to solve those business problems. Using economic ideas for crisis management. For crisis management also we are using the economic tools and techniques. We are identifying, analyzing and forecasting the demand also. Allocating scarce resources for optimizing returns, enabling risk taking and uncertainty bearing, helping in profit maximization, pursuing the larger objectives of the firm other than profit maximization, formulating short term and long term business strategies. So here we are allocating scarce resources. Basically, company is having the limited resources, and company always want to maximize its return by using by proper utilization of their scarce resources, then enabling risk taking ability. So how we can bear the risk and how we can deal with the uncertainty situation. Then helping in profit maximization. So profit maximization is the sole objective of the enterprise. So managerial economics and managers also help in maximizing the profit. Pursuing larger objective of the firm other than profit maximization, means profit maximization is not the sole objective. There are other objectives also, so we have to accomplish those objectives also. Then formulating short term and long term business strategies also. Then roles and responsibilities of managerial economist. With the advent of managerial revolution and transition from the owner manager to professional executive, the managerial economists have occupied an important place in modern business. Basically, the managers and executive play a very important role as a managerial economist and have very important place in modern business practices. Organizationally, a managerial economist is placed nearer to the policy maker simply because his main role is to improve the quality of policy making as it affects short-term operation and long-range planning also. So, managerial economist is just like the policy maker. He is doing a policy making job. He is a policy maker for the organization. He is doing the short term operation as well as long term forward planning for the organization. Then he has a significant role to play in assisting the management of a firm in decision making and forward planning by using specialized skills and techniques. Managerial economist is having the specialized skill, knowledge, attitude, aptitude. So he helps in the organization for decision making and planning also. Managerial economist has to perform certain specific functions. He helps to coordinate practices related to production, investment, price, sales and inventory scheduling of the firm. Forecasting is the fundamental activity which consumes most of the time of the managerial economist. Managerial economist performs the various functions like helping in production, investment, price, sales, inventory, scheduling. But the main task or main work he is doing is the forecasting. So in forecasting he is most of the time involved in this. The managerial economist is usually assigned the task of preparing short-term general economic and specific market forecast to provide a framework for the development of sales and profit. Basically, managerial economist is play a role like policy maker. So he is going to decide the short-term and long-term market specific forecasting techniques and making the framework for the sales maximization and the profit maximization. He has to help the firm to plan product improvement, new product policy and pricing and sales promotion strategy. Means he is performing the various functions, the specific function like helping in new product development, product improvement and deciding the pricing of the product, pricing policies and strategies, and at the same time sales and promotional related strategies also. The managerial economist often needs focused studies of specific problems and opportunities. Means managerial economist studies about the specific problems and opportunities available in the market scenario, the business scenario, whatever the problems and opportunities exist. So a managerial economist identify those problems, suggest the solution and find the opportunities so that company can explore these opportunities. He should indulge in market survey, product preference test and advertising effectiveness study and marketing research as well. Means he does the market survey, product preference test about the product related aspect, checking the effectiveness of the advertising, how much effective our advertising is, and at the same time research on the marketing aspect also. Then the managerial economist has to undertake an economic analysis of competing firms. He is doing the economic analysis also for the competitors available in the market. He should also undertake investment appraisal, project evaluation and feasibility study. It is the duty of the managerial economist to provide necessary intelligence. Basically, he is also identifying and evaluating the various investment project appraisal, project evaluation, and he is doing the feasibility study also. And taking decision and analyzing these proposal and investment is done by the managerial economist. Now, there are specific functions performed by the managerial economist. As we can also say, there are specific functions of managerial economics which are performed by the managerial economics. They are just like the policy makers in the organization. So let us discuss one by one. First is sales forecasting. So forecasting or predicting the sales volume, how much sales volume we are going to have for our new product as well as the existing product. Then industrial market research. We are doing the research about the various market related factors. Then economic analysis of competing companies. We are doing the economic analysis for the various competitors which are available in the market or the business scenario. The pricing problems of the industries. So we are deciding the pricing, deciding the methods of pricing, deciding the strategies for the pricing. Then capital project. So the capital investment project basically deals with the long term investment proposal, and again this is done by the managerial economist. Production program. Production program in this the availability of raw material, availability of labor, machinery, plant, equipment. So we are dealing with the production related aspect. Then security, investment analysis and forecasting. So investment analysis and forecasting, how much funds we are having, how much funds we can invest in proposals. So this is the functions performed by the managerial economist. Next, advice on trade and public relations. So managerial economist is play a role of policy maker also. So he can advise the organization in a different manner, in a different aspects, like advice on trade and public relations. So how a company can have the good public relations with their stakeholders. Advice on primary commodities, related to primary commodity they can advise. Advice on foreign exchange means the export, import, how much currency we are having, how much profit we are getting, how much balance of payment we are having. Then economic analysis of agriculture. It is doing the economic analysis also for the agriculture as well as the other competing firms. Then analysis of underdeveloped economics. So it is also it is playing a role of policy maker, and it is also deciding the underdeveloped economics. So then environmental forecasting or predicting the whatever the macro environmental factors available in the market or the business scenario, and which are directly or indirectly affecting the business operations, the decision making, planning, implementation and controlling as well. Last but not the least, concluding remark. To conclude, a managerial economist should enlarge the area of certainty. To discharge his role successfully, he must recognize his responsibility and obligations. No one can deny that the managerial economist contributes significantly to the profitable growth of the firm through his realistic attitude. Basically, a managerial economist is just like the policy maker in the organization or the firm. So he must discharge his roles and responsibilities, his duties and tasks very honestly and very devoted for the organization or the firm, so that organization or the business firm can take the right decision making, planning, implementation as well as controlling. So there is a very important role of managerial economist in managerial economics. So thank you.